Alright guys, so we're back in the garage working on the Yerf Dog 125, and I'm going to be working on the shift linkage. So, this here, I already got the bolt out of it, so it comes off and on pretty easy. There's a hole already drilled in it, so I'm going to utilize that hole, and I'm going to try to make a little bracket down here. Oh yeah, you guys can see. I'm going to make a little bracket down here as a hinge point and run a rod from here to about here, and then I'll run a secondary rod from here-ish up through the front somehow, some way. That way I'll have a shifter rod up in here somewhere. So I'm going to use some bed frame. I got this bit of frame right here with some pre-drilled holes that I'm going to utilize those. So I ain't got to drill any other holes. So I'm going to chop this up and start getting to work on it, and I'll bring you guys back when I get this done. On a bolt, this is a little metal spacer. I have this kind of loose in here, double nutted over here. This is kind of just like a washer. What I'm actually about to do is weld this end solid and weld this to this bolt solid. That way it stays completely solid. This to the bolt and this to the bolt. That way this here's the pivot point. So once I get it welded, it'll make more sense, but it'll sit somewhere in here and be welded here. Sorry about the lighting. 1 second. Alright guys, now we can see. Sorry about that. But silver part will be welded. This piece will be welded to the solid nut, allowing the black bar to move both sides at the same time. And that side over here will be hooked up to this. I'll have these pointed upwards like that, and then I'll just have to run my other shift linkage up through the seat or something somehow. This one, I don't know, before I weld it up solid, I might have this one run through the bottom and have my shift linkage for this side run that way. But either way, it's going to be welded up, so I'll bring you guys back when I got that done. Alright guys, so I got the seat cover off. I got this welded in. I have a feeling it might break. If so, I'll just have to replace this center section and probably the bolt that I'm using in that side. But who knows? I'm not too worried about that quite yet. I switched this piece from this because I bent both ends and was going to use this, but it was just too jank. So got this on here. Just got to tighten this front bolt and then measure from here to up here somewhere. Get that other linkage made. Got another little spot up here. Make a shifter handle and get it mounted up, I guess. So let's see how we're gonna do that. Let me see if I can find some metal to use, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so I found this bar here, and I just took this chain tensioner. It's a mini bike chain tensioner off one of the pocket rockets, and I just welded it in here. That way I can bolt this down here to my shift linkage. I'm going to take this other one, weld it on the other end. I know I'm going to have to shorten that end down because it comes up to like about here, and the steering wheel is right there. Alright guys, that end's welded up solid now. That end's done too, so now to take and get this piece welded where I want it. It's probably going to be upright like this, and I'm going to have to cut a hole through the back of the seat, and the shifter is going to ride across the top of the seat, because that's the only spot I can get it to fit, because it's hitting on this bar or under this bar when I run it underneath. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I found this old set of handlebars off of the three-wheel scooter I had done. So I'm gonna cut it down here, cut a little bit off down here, and I'm gonna use that as my shifter. Go over here. I got the top bolt. I'm gonna weld the nut on here. I just gotta weld down here completely solid with this bracket, and then from here it goes through the seat, which kind of crappy design, but hey, I'm using what I have laying around. And then for here, I'm gonna have to mount a little pivot point down here, and then I'm gonna weld a bolt off the side of the handlebars, what piece I use, and I'm gonna attach a bolt to the side of it and bolt this little hole to it. So that's the idea, that's the plan. So that's what I'm gonna run with. I'm gonna take this piece, which was off of the go-kart, it's the shock mount. I'm gonna use this little piece here and weld that to the floor for my pivot point, I think. And then there's already a hole here so I can bolt it down. That way I don't have to drill anything. So I'm gonna cut this down. I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I got that one little pivot point I was talking about cut off. I just got to weld it on, weld the nut on my little bar, and then I got my shifter. Alright guys, so I can't remember where I left off, but I got the bolt welded on there, nut on that end. That's welded up. The floor pan's not solid, but it'll do for now. Then you step back here. Ooh, 1 second. I got it all welded up. Got this plate here all welded solid. I got a spacer here welded into place. And then I put this bar in here from one side to the other and welded it for added strength and stability. And I have a spacer on the back side, so this is more straight and lined up. So it does go in a gear. It's a bit hard, but that could be because the engine's not running and I'm not using the clutch. So, but now I have shift linkage on here. I can figure out the clutch. It's a tad bit short for what I need. So I'm going to look around and see if I got any longer cables so I can switch that out. If I can switch that out, I will. I have a feeling I'm going to have to put a little piece of pipe into this one. So I feel like this little hand grip won't fit over this piece of steel. So I'll just rob this little end piece here off these handlebars, slide it down in there, and that should be plenty enough room for me to use it as my clutch. So I'll be doing that next. I probably won't record. I'll probably leave this off here, guys, but stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.